Greetings, brothers and sisters. Good morning. Konnichiwa. Is that the word I'm looking for? But welcome. I don't know, brothers and sisters, but welcome to this Mystelics Reacts channel right there. And then big up to all the Mystelics family and the new video. You need to see what's up with my thoughts and comments on these here reaction vibrations. What are yours? Leave your thoughts and comments also in the comment box below. I want to see what you guys have to say as well as others. So definitely do so. And of course, don't forget to click the thumbs up button help to push these videos, push them out there, and also for YouTube to give you more of my videos. Definitely click the thumbs up button right there. Of course, subscribe for more vibrations as I post and publish them. You'll be notified of my new videos when I drop them right there. Anyways, brothers and sisters, without further ado, let us get into the vibrations for the day. Of course, we have this sentiment right there, of course, concerning the electoral system and of course the reconfirmation process. But of course, according to this that I'm seeing right there, according to Electoral office in Dominica, notice, attention electors of polling district EO3. All right, you guys will know where that is. But of course, the Electoral office wishes to inform that you, the confirmation center in Boetica, located at the Boetica Emergency Center, will be open on Wednesday. That is today, brothers and sisters, Wednesday, November 12th, from 9:30, okay, to 5:30 p.m. So you guys can definitely get that information right there. Voters are encouraged to visit the center to complete their confirmation process. Please go there and confirm, brothers and sisters. Of course, not to be biased, but we need to change the government. This of the economy, you need to change the government, man. That's crazy. Go out there and confirm so that you have the right to vote. Brothers and sisters, some people believe, oh, it's not about, you know, I'm going and protest and this kind of things. Well, you have the right to make the change, brothers and sisters. Or you have the right to make the change is that way. So definitely go and confirm, brothers and sisters. And of course, please note that your photo will be taken as part of the procedure. So I'm guessing you have to bring your photo as well. Bring your photo and they'll be taking your photo in that regard right there. There's also this sentiment that I've seen right there. Of course, Electoral Office of Dominica, how to contact your confirmation center. They have it there. Of course, you guys can see the number of places. They have the Gauntlet River and Agricultural Extension Office, Emergency Shelter, House of, Nevison Wade. I guess that's Fokole region, Newtown area, Loubier area. You have this sentiment right there. Roseau Primary School, Trafalgar Innovation Hub. So you have a number of, sorry, there's different. Okay, I thought this was a continuation right there. So confirmation centers actually. And you have a House of Murray. So you can pretty much see this stuff. Colibri, Loda, Cochrane, Trafalgar, Roseau, Loubier, Newtown, Salisbury, Atkinson, Wesley, Keith Africa House. Okay, great. You guys know where that is. Well, if you don't know, you have the number to call. So you can definitely call and then have the confirmation process going on. However, brothers and sisters, apparently there's some sort of interesting situation that is taking place when it comes down to the confirmation. We got to get into that in a moment, but let's take a listen to this.
Voter confirmation officially began on October 15th, 2025. This is the process through which every elector listed on the May 2025 voters list has their name transferred to the new voters list in accordance with the Registration of Electors Act 2025. Confirmation is taking place in every constituency across the island, with some constituencies hosting more than one confirmation center. Please note, confirmation will not take place overseas.
That's good.
To be confirmed, a Dominican citizen must attend the center with a witness from the same polling district and a valid government-issued Dominican ID. Upon arrival, the enrollment officer will first verify your name is on the published May 2025 voters list. Once confirmed, your ID and any supporting documents will be reviewed and scanned. You will then be provided with a form to fill out and sign. If you're unable to sign, you may mark an X instead. Next, you'll move to the data entry or assistant enrollment officer who will input your details into the system.
But wait a while. If you are unable to sign, you should mark an X. Because if you're bringing somebody with you and that person is confirming who you are, and then you have your documents to show who you actually are, so there's double confirmation there for some reason or the other, why don't you make that person sign for you as, hey, I have my ID, I cannot sign, maybe my hand not working properly, I cannot sign. The person who is going to confirm that I'm actually who I say I am, plus my ID verification, then the person should be able to sign for the person. Don't you think so? Why mark an X? that X is interesting.
And
What are your thoughts on that, guys? Let me know your thoughts right there.
and your documents. Each center is equipped with 2 screens, one for the officer and one for you, the applicant, allowing you to view your information in real time. If any corrections are needed, simply inform the officer. Once you're satisfied, you'll confirm your details by affixing your digital signature. Your photos will then be taken for your voter ID card. Please arrive camera ready, as this image will appear on your official identification. All centers are equipped with a professional backdrop and camera. For security and accuracy in facial recognition, sunglasses, hats, scarves, headbands, or any other items that obscure the face are not allowed during the photo. Once all steps are completed, the enrollment officer will issue you a Form 32 receipt. This serves as confirmation that your application has been successfully submitted. The voter confirmation process is a valid part of ensuring a secure, accurate, and transparent electoral system. By completing your confirmation, you are helping to strengthen democracy and uphold your right to vote in the Commonwealth of Dominica. For more information regarding the confirmation process, you may contact the hotline of the Electoral Office through call or WhatsApp at 767-617-9595.
Okay, now one of the questions that popped up in my head was, how do you know exactly where you have to vote? Especially people that have transferred to different areas. For example, the people of PT Savan that transferred to the new location. I forgot the name. But they transferred to the new location. So where exactly do they have to go do the reconfirmation? Are they supposed to confirm in PT Savan, or are they supposed to confirm in the new area that they are in? What about the other people who are relocated to different places? Do they have to confirm there? What exactly is going on? No, I see they have photo ID, which is a good thing. But I think one of the things that's supposed to be on the voter ID card is the address. That would indicate where exactly you're supposed to go and vote. But apparently they seem to have left that out. Because I've seen voter ID cards and they have address on it. Or they have the location of where you are on it. So if that be the case, why aren't they putting it in Dominica? And then the voter ID card is supposed to be a one-use thing. In other words, you go, they send you the voter ID card, you get the voter ID card, you go to vote. You go to vote, great. Then they take the voter ID card, so you can't use the voter ID card anywhere else. Is the voter ID card that they're giving a single-use voter ID card, or is it multiple use? I don't think we got confirmation on that right there. What are your thoughts, guys? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. If you guys know the answer to that, leave that in the comment box below. But of course, we have a number of interesting thought process when it comes down to this sentiment right there. This is Dr. Thomas, and he was on Q95 giving his views on the sentiment of confirmation.
Constituency, Mr. Jacques was working very hard. Yes. And he's made several attempts to communicate with the Electoral Office. And as we
so he's in WESLEY.
We know now that this Electoral Office has stopped new registration, which of course in mind is a violation of law itself.
So wait a while. Confirmation began October 15th. And for some reason or the other, they have stopped confirmation in WESLEY. So individuals cannot go there and reconfirm their names. Why? Why is that? Maybe they'll say why.
And two is a form of disenfranchisement for those who have attained the age of 18 and for those who want to exercise the franchise.
Can they stop it? That's great.
What is
confirmation closed now or something? I thought it was till next year.
your take on this?
Well, we have to first start with the premise of what this government really looked at before implementing this program. And let me preface that by saying this government is not going to do anything unless they figure they are going to be at an advantage.
Yep, that's exactly what I stated in the previous video, brothers and sisters. They will never do anything that they know will ruin their re-election legacy. I've stated this. And it's not me stating this on a biased point of view. It's clear. When you see in certain things that's supposed to be done to create a free and fair election, and you see these things are not being done, and then you hear that they're coming up with their own thing. I mean, come on. That says a lot, doesn't it? Am I being biased, brothers and sisters? Let me know if I'm being biased. Is it true or not? Let me know your thoughts in the comment box below, but I know for sure, based on what has been written before to them, it's a fact. That they're making sure that they do not do anything to taint their re-election legacy. But you mean to tell me that in WESLEY right now, they stop it? Like, why, really? Brothers and sisters, you need to confirm that for me, please. People in WESLEY, let me know your thoughts in the comment box below.
It would have been so much easier to do the re-registration. The infrastructure to do that was basically already in place. All you had to do was get the machinery, the equipment you need to produce the ID cards. But
why are they producing the ID cards right now? That's what I don't understand. The ID card should come at least a year before the elections. Or a few months. I think St. Martin do their own. A few months before the elections, they send out their voter ID cards. What Dominica don't have to necessarily send out voter ID cards to the addresses. What people can do is say, hey, we have your confirmation, your voter ID card at the office. Come and pick it up. You know? We have prepared this stuff for you. Come and pick it up or send it to the respective areas that of which people know where they're voting. Wouldn't that make sense? Why are they printing it now and then probably we're not voting unless they plan to make elections in 2026? Some people have been indicating that the election might be this year, December, somewhere in December, somewhere in the 6th. Be that the case, that's kind of crazy.
Went around this in a long way because what they're looking for is a process whereby they can engineer loopholes to where they can get the advantage.
Yep.
And that's what
I agree.
Because when you look at the complicated way this confirmation process is set up, it seems to the naked eye that it would have been much easier to facilitate a re-registration, start from scratch, and just re-register everyone. Other countries in the region have done it, and so it would not have been, rocket science to get it done. But what we have right now is basically a mess, to use a simple term, where you have people, you have issues. First of all, the whole issue with the birth certificates. Eliminating that at the last minute.
I don't understand that. How can you eliminate the birth certificate that proves where exactly you are born? To prove where you are born. And as I'm thinking of that, as I mentioned earlier about the address, because obviously if you have the voter ID card, you would then need to prove where you stayed. This is why they need to put the address on it, not true? And they will most likely want overseas voters to come in, so that's why they take out the address. Interesting. Is that a possibility factor, brothers and sisters? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment box below. But let me just let him continue what he's saying right there.
That, I believe, was calculated based on what was done earlier, the handing of the passport to as many supporters as was possible.
Yep.
But I hope what is going to happen with them is that these people that they gave the passport is going to go into the booth and put the X by the saw. And
But it's interesting because, brothers and sisters, people want to always make it seem as if, because they're making you want to register to keep them in power, that somehow you cannot vote against them. You can. You can vote against them. Just like I think in St. Kitts. This is why St. Kitts completely changed, brothers and sisters. Because they brought in people to vote, and it seems like the people that they brought in to vote voted against the very people that brought them to vote. And then there was a change in government. It's very interesting. So that can happen in Dominica, brothers and sisters. Dominica is going down, way down the train. Sometimes people don't believe that the system can even change. And if the system were to change, it's going to take a number of years for Dominica to even become what it used to be back in the day, to then compete with the rest of the Caribbean that has already advanced. Dominica is the only Caribbean island that is not a $1 billion US economy. St. Vincent and Grenadines was last back in the day. About 3 or 4 years ago, St. Vincent and Grenadines was last week. Was last. Now they're competing with Antigua Prime Minister the other day come and this Dominica saying our surplus alone in 10 years has surpassed the entire GDP. So in other words, if they were making $1 million and they're now making $4 million, Dominica on is $500,000. They say our surplus from 1 to 4, $3 million has far surpassed the very GDP of Dominica. Brothers and sisters, this is why I think what is happening in Dominica is a willful process. It's willful to make sure that the people are dependent on the government. But brothers and sisters, you will never get nowhere if you're consistently dependent on the government. Your children will pay the price for what you have done. And therefore, it's time to wake up and smell the cockatoo.
For the passport, now I can vote you out of office. So let's hope that's part of the calculation that's happening.
Hopefully, people wising up.
This whole, basically since March, nobody has been able to register been able to do new registration.
March? October open. March?
That's not right. That's not right. And every time
to register with us. Okay.
Called and we actually went into the office, we are given a story about a form. I mean, how long does it take to develop a form to register? All these forms in the new legislation were developed and placed in the new registration, new legislation.
Yeah.
So why is it so difficult to come up with a form that probably has?
So since March, they are not able to register people to vote. Then there's the confirmation process that is taking place at present. They themselves find a halt in that. You know what that reminds me of, brothers and sisters? That is not something that we have seen. This is new. We have seen this happening before. And what has been happening before, brothers and sisters, is simple. Killing time. Remember when they were doing the whole electoral reform thing and they brought the people and were having meetings all over the place. And then absolutely nothing happened, brothers and sisters. Now in 2025, 2019, in fact, that was before 2019 because I think it's the election of 2019. The Prime Minister indicated, hey, as soon as we reach, we're going to be giving electoral reform. Next election come 2022 and not 2025. Well, you see what killing time is? Killing time.
You can go into Excel or Microsoft Word and develop a form in minutes to facilitate whatever it is that they're trying to do. So I'm not sure why it's taking them this long to...
Killing time.
And if in fact a form is the problem, then why then did you kick out the old system before you
It's true. The old system was apparently working. You kick out that system just to put in a system that's not working. Or is it the system that is working and you're pretending the system is not working to kill time? Is that a possibility factor? Let me know, brothers and sisters, in the comment box below.
The new system, that in itself makes no sense. I mean, you keep the old system going until the new system comes online, and then you integrate the two, and you get going. But to just stop everything, what you've done over these last few months is to disenfranchise a lot of people from being able to get new registration into the system. And then you have the issue of course, the birth certificate, and a lot of our young people who has never had work because this government has not created the atmosphere and environment for them to do so. They don't have a social security card. They have no need to get a driver's license because they don't drive and they don't intend to. And their plan is not to travel soon, so they don't have a passport.
Can you imagine, as a young man, none of these things are on your agenda? Because of how the economy is, brothers and sisters, we need to wake up. We need to wake up. Brothers and sisters, this is Dominica. Dominica didn't used to be like that. No, that's how Dominica is today. And it's very evident that there's a force to keep the people down so that they do not rise up and change the government. But the government is doing their diligence to ensure that they bring their people in to register and give them passports and so forth, so that they come and vote for them. But hopefully the people wake up and smell the cockatoo to say, hey, you know what, we have seen enough. You have given you enough chances. 4 chances, back to back. They give you a chance in 2004, you come back again, 2005, you come back, 2005. 2009 or 2010, whichever it was, I think it's 2009, you get another one, you come back again, 2012, anyways, but plenty chances. plenty chances to do better for the people, and the people have consistently gotten worse. Consistently. I was actually talking to an individual in the park during the national parade, and he was telling me things are gotten better. He said, yes, Mr. Licks, things are gotten better. I said, we get better buildings, but is the healthcare better? Because if the healthcare is better, then less people will be getting sick. Then less people will get sick. They will be receiving better medical attention. One of the things that I know for a fact is that Dominicans could do operation in Dominica back in the day. Not all of them, but majority of the operations could be done in Dominica. No, you have to be flown out. The Prime Minister is boasting something about HIFU and HIFU, this kind of things there, which was rejected by most hospitals. That equipment was rejected because it was not a proper reading. I did the research on it when he was talking about it initially, and found that most hospitals rejected it because that thing was not doing a proper reading. And scared is out there boasting because the people do not know. You see, that's one of the things with ignorance, brothers and sisters. And ignorance is not necessarily a bad thing, you know. Because I'm ignorant of some things, you are ignorant of some things. But it's important when you're ignorant of something to learn, brothers and sisters, especially some individuals who give their own opinions on certain things that you're ignorant about. It's better that you learn about it before you talk or even making decisions on it. It's interesting.
So the birth certificate was actually the best bet to be able to confirm. And here it is, you've taken that away.
Taking it out.
And so now they're out there trying to figure out how they're going to confirm.
And they get the birth certificate, they have to pay money for that. Because you have to go, I think it's $25 or whatever amount of money you have to pay for that. $15, I don't know. I can't remember. You have to go and pay. Then you have to go and get a passport that you might never travel with, you know, but you still have to go and get passport for you to come and confirm.
There's also the issue.
I would like to bring Dr. Thompson Fountain on the podcast for us to talk about that, you know. I need to send an invitation.
You have the old passport. There are many people with a non-expired passport. They have no plans to travel, so they see no reason to spend $150 on the passport.
So then I guess you cannot use the old passport because it's been outdated. So that means you have to get a new passport, which means you can take a set of money that you already don't have for you to go and get a passport, just so you can get the right. You can get the right that you already had to vote. How can you remove the birth certificate? That alone.
But it's still a valid document. So why is it that they cannot use that document as identification for confirmation? That needs to be rectified.
It needs to.
We have all these ongoing issues with it.
And they're probably killing time so that this situation does not get rectified. But it needs to be rectified. Of course, the people need to say, hey, we cannot get passports. We don't want to spend money with that we don't have. You want us to go and buy passport for $150 or whatever amount of money, plus get birth certificate. By the end of the time, we'll probably spend $200 just for us to have the right to vote. Really?
But as I said at the onset, it's painfully obvious that this government chose this system because they figured to them they would have an advantage and they would be able to maneuver the system to their advantage. But the hope is that this will backfire on them, and or people that they were hoping would not confirm, or people are going in there and they are confirming, and we're going to keep encouraging our people to confirm and to get registered as soon as this registration process opens up.
Thank you very much. Doc,
That's interesting.
Say a little while longer on this whole issue, and the Electoral Office has a big problem. Number one, they are violating the electoral laws, and that is serious.
Yes.
Because the electoral laws are very clear that you must have continuous registration. Any person wishing to register now must be given the opportunity. So what happens if they call an election, a staff election,
If it's failed.
then the election must be nullified.
Yeah.
If the government of Dominica were to call an election under the circumstances where they have prevented persons from registering, I can guarantee you that this is grounds for the nullification of the election results. You know, because you cannot.
But then I agree with Thompson. It should be if they do call elections during that time, then this election should be nullified. But then again, this is gonna go to the system, and the system where you have the judicial system that seems like they don't really know what justice is. Because remember, they had the treating case and they threw it out. There were grounds for treating. I mean, I was one individual was there. We saw it happening. I filmed it. And they threw it out. So if that has to be a ground to say, hey, this is what happening, they can also throw out that case. Because the system is unjust. The system is unjust. This is why it's not just about the government, brothers and sisters. It's about the entire system. And when I was speaking to an individual from Vegas, he indicated the same thing. I was thinking, I said, bro, you're right, bro, you are right. Same thing. The mentality of the people. And the people getting passports for them to go and register, for them to vote for the very people that keep them down. That are not able to afford their own passports for them to travel. Sometimes these people are being given passports they will never use the passports. Because they simply do not have the funding as a result of the limited job opportunities for them to be able to do so. Anyways, brothers and sisters, I have another video of Thompson talking about the sentiments right there. Let's take a listen.
You know, the lack of transparency, the lack of accountability, the focus on trying to, you know, to jail opposition leaders, to steal elections. And this litany of wrongs that they've done against the people, the way that they've condemned the people to poverty, you know, the way that all of the resources spread amongst a few in government, a prime minister on a $12,000 salary, building 3-4 mansions and have this incredible amount of wealth. When you think about those things,
really? People, all you don't see, all you cannot see, there's something strange where people cannot see. A prime minister has made his country poor and giving them breadcrumbs. Oh, kind of reminds me of the United States, brothers and sisters. But back in the day, around the 1920s, the 1930s, the 1940s, where black people, after coming up from slavery, decided they banded together and building themselves to the point where they had their own black churches, their own black banks, their own black schools, everything they had, and this is what you call Black Wall Street, brothers and sisters. These people had their own system going. And then for some reason or the other, the Democratic Party created the KKK, and the KKK went into these black neighborhoods. You know why? Because they felt the black people were rising, and they felt if they rose too much to the point, they will end up doing them the same thing that they did them. So they created the KKK, brothers and sisters, and they went in and destroyed these black neighborhoods. If you look at a part in Manhattan where you see there's a big park, that area was where some of the prominent black neighborhoods were. But anyways, they went in and they created the KKK, and the KKK went in and wiped out these neighborhoods to no recourse, brothers and sisters. No justice prevailed. Then later on, the very party came in, Democratic Party came in and gave black people food stamps and welfare. And they felt, well, we were but downtrodden, we were going down, but then you guys came to help us with food stamps and welfare. That very system felt like just look somebody helping us. And as a result of that, blacks decided to turn to the very people that destroyed what they used to have. They turned and supported the very people for the mediocrity, brothers and sisters. Mediocrity they settle for. I see the same thing in Dominica, where people are selling their freedom and the pursuits of it to have betterment for themselves independently. They are selling themselves short for a few $100s, not realizing that they could get thousands in an economy that is actually doing. Look at St. Kitts. Dominicans leaving Dominica and going to St. Kitts and going to Grenada and going to other places and making dirty piece of money. Dominicans going to St. Martin and making thousands of US dollars. We had that in Dominica back in the day. Remember when Dominicans used to go to the bank, cash, and pay for the house, no mortgage to pay? Remember? I was born in a glimpse of that time, so I remember what that felt like when I see all the banana vehicles going from 1 mile all the way down to the port. People selling themselves short for a few dollars, not realizing that they can actually get more. Just like I indicated before, people selling themselves short for the breadcrumbs. The breadcrumbs, when they could have the bakery, because scared them is giving them the breadcrumbs, and sometimes the breadcrumbs come from free, but there's nothing is free in life. You give something up for something else, you know that, right? And then you have a man making himself like a king, building his 3rd mansion, or making a mansion that bigger than the last 2 he stayed in. I mean, come on, we have to think, realize what is going on and wising up.
And you think about the fate and the fact that as we spoke earlier about the young people not having hope.
Yeah.
And you have this contrast, you know, in terms of the leadership, in terms of the way and the direction of this country. You must say that this is the time when the people of Dominica must stand up together against this.
But they should have stood up already. They should have stood up a long time ago. Because as time is high. Brothers and sisters, making money and working 9 to 5 is not a good use of your time, you know. Use of your time. Time is currency. You see, we have wasted 25 years to try our best to see if we can get back. I remember John Earlier, the education minister, Octavia Alfred, talking about we need to go back. You wasted set of time. Sometimes children were not even born. And they became adults. Just for you now to say we need to go back to how things used to be. To have a better standing of education and for people to actually understand things. But I think this was willfully done to make the people not so smart upstairs. I've seen it happen in the United States.
We must say no to those excesses. We must say no to a government that turns around and gives the resources of the country
to foreigners. Remember Democrats, brothers and sisters? How much money they were giving to foreigners? And then the people in the United States, the citizens, wondering, where am I? People who have gone out to give their lives in the military are on the streets. They're on the streets begging. And then foreigners just coming and they're giving the people the taxpayers' money. I remember what happened in North Carolina with the hurricane. They were claiming that there was no money because they apparently were giving all the money to the illegals that came in. Can you believe that? The same thing is happening in Dominica, and people want to tell me, Mystelics, are you siding with this guy over that guy? Isn't that guy like scary? No! When I see the evidence, is the evidence we're looking at. Not about feelings, the evidence. My good.
Who then turns around gives the government as what they wish and what they please. You must say no to a government that says it as a housing program, puts people into a house, but does not give them ownership of this house.
There's the ghetto projects of New York. They rent these houses, they stay there, and they can't pass it on. Then real estate comes in and cleans it up, and, you know, that's put it to the next person. The same system that is happening in Dominica, brothers, is next 10 to 20 years, you'll see the ghetto. That's how it happens. Because those houses that we see in the ghetto in New York, they weren't like this before. They were brand new and looking nice and fresh and clean.
You must say no to that. You must say no to a government that has maintained a red clinic that tells people it is easier or better to come to me, even when God is not answering your prayers, to come to me and I'll give you, as against how can we operate and get the work for you.
It's interesting that he's saying that, even if God is not answering your prayer. But sometimes God needs to answer your prayer because he needs you to understand, hey, the people that you're voting for is what are keeping you down. And the reason why you're not getting your answer because you keep voting for the very people that are keeping you down. And know the people are saying, bypass that. Come to me, I will solve your problems for you. not realizing that you're regurgitating the same cycle over and over and over, not giving yourself independent, brothers and sisters. We are still some mental slaves. Humanity, boy. Humans, boy.
You must say no to a government that will destroy the agriculture sector, upon which 70% of the population rely.
Can you imagine the government telling you, if not CBI, what else? We claim we have 365 rivers. We have, brothers and sisters, we are on 9 active volcanoes giving rise to fertile soil. Fertile soil. You ever go on top? Let me not expose that person. But there's a particular area in Dominica, brothers and sisters, where a particular individual own land there, and when that individual plants stuff, if you know how carambola does, be small, brothers and sisters, the carambola like this. I'm not kidding you. The carambola is like this because of the fertility of the soil. Normal carambola will be like this. I carry it myself. I know what I'm talking about, you know. The fertility of the soil. They can make enough juice. We have proper factories and these kind of things there, but no, the Prime Minister will tell you the reason why we don't have proper factories or factories at all is because of the very dumb leg. The very dumb leg that they regulated. And then renting generated to dumb leg as if dumb leg cannot afford its own generators.
You must say no to this government. So I am hoping that in all of this, and as we have those discussions, and as we meet people on the ground, and as we talk to people, I'm hoping that the people of Dominica will say, man, enough is enough. You know, the lack of transparency, the lack of accountability, the focus on trying to, you know, to jail opposition leaders, to steal elections.
It's so interesting that he's saying this, man. And the thought just came to mind, you know, about transparency and governance. Sometimes people ask him, where the Prime Minister go? People ask him, where the Prime Minister go? The Prime Minister disappear. That is transparency to you. I mean, when the evidence is there, even if you don't know nothing, my goodness. But even if you ask him where the Prime Minister, you don't know the Prime Minister, then you just hear, oh, the Prime Minister go Rome. Go Rome for what? Brothers and sisters, since the Prime Minister went to Rome with his wife and whoever he went with, what benefit has that been for Dominica? Huh? What can help me understand somebody? Help me. Because I don't know. Teach me, I want to learn. That's why you guys leave your thoughts and comments in the comment box. But I want to learn from you guys. And some things I'm very ignorant. What has come from it? What? I have a whole situation involving confirmation process and they hindering people from confirming. If you take it to the court now, the court itself is a rigged system. The whole system is messed up. You don't have no other choice, you still have to take it to the court. Hoping for betterment. Brothers and sisters, let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment box below. Tune in for a bit later on for another one, brothers and sisters. Hopefully I can lighten the mood with a different reaction, man, because that's one of the reasons why I stayed away from them for a while, because I know this is highly asinine. Highly asinine. And I mentioned in the previous reaction, brothers and sisters, definitely tune in to the previous one. I think I'll post that in the first comment in the comment box below as well. But the previous one I was stating that somebody, you in a burning building and somebody have to come and tell you coming from the burning building when you can just easily walk out. Somebody have to come in to take you out of the burning building. You don't know any burning building. Somebody have to come into your house and tell you the economy not doing good and you feeling the economy not good. You feeling the burden of the economy in your back. The other day I was just talking to an individual on the whole merit of the youth. That person was telling me back in the day I didn't have a job, but I have a little job now and whatnot. I guess they're satisfied with the mediocrity that they get, because having no job and getting a job now is two different things, not true? Having $0 and making $1,000 is much better, you know? True. But that person didn't realize that they can end up making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in a better economy. But it's interesting that that person now is telling me about the next generation after them, saying that the youth will strive in poverty. That person tell me that themselves. Saying back in the day we did not have, now we have this thing there. Yes, true. But then talking about the next generation, knowing that they will be in poverty. One of the things that individual told me, she stated to me that, you know what? Well, the people, they don't mind it. They don't mind it, which comes back to the very thing that the individual was telling me from Vegas. It's the mindset of the people. Do you think the government has successfully destroyed the mind frame of the people where they are just easily accepting anything? I think it started with Red Clinic. I think that's where it started. When people know they could go Red Clinic and get their money, they say, hey, oh, I remember people going during campaign time and say, look at that, we can just go and drink things, look it there for us. Not realizing that was there for a fleeting moment. Tell him, go and do that now, nah. Go and do it now. All right. Anyways, guys, what are your thoughts, man? Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment box below. I really want to hear what you guys have to say. Ready? Leave your thoughts. For me, don't forget to click the thumbs up near. Appreciate my concise. Click the thumbs up button helping to push these videos further there, and of course too, so that the algorithm will also showcase more of my videos to you as well. Anyways, that's it right there. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the post notifications so you'll be notified when I publish and post my videos. Click subscribe button, sisters, with the post notification bell. Inadvertently becoming part of the Mystelics family. It's about Mystelics on singing, guys. Be real, Saturday King always. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great morning. Tune in for the next one. I'll be doing a bit later on today. And with that said right there, be positive.